A searching test of nerve and character for Newcastle in front of their own fans. Our commentator, John Helm.
The normal passion one associates with Tyne-Tees derby matches may be a little on the muted side tonight, as these teams meet for the third time in 2 weeks. But Middlesbrough have sold out their allocation of just over 2,000 tickets, and these fans are hoping their team can continue its recent monopoly over Newcastle. Robbie Mustoe, a £375,000 summer signing from Oxford, scored both goals in the first leg and is in Colin Todd's unchanged lineup, which hasn't conceded a goal in 4 games and which has been beaten only twice in 12 matches this season. Mickey Quinn ended a barren spell with both goals in last Saturday's victory over Portsmouth and will hope to break another sequence tonight. He's never scored in a derby game for Newcastle. Jim Smith has been forced to make 2 alterations, with Ray Ranson and Kevin Dillon the latest additions to his injury list. Referee tonight, George Courtney, officiated here when Sunderland beat Newcastle in the controversial promotion playoff match in May. And we're underway with appeals for a free kick on the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area straight away. And Quinn is left down there, right on the edge of the area. Newcastle thought they should have had a free kick. George Courtney saw it and said not. And here we see the moment as Quinn challenges on the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area, and the challenge there from Alan Kernigan was seen by George Courtney as fair. There's a good turn and a good piece of play as well, and Newcastle have got a free kick this time, one for them by Mark McGee. And it would change the complexion of the tie so drastically if Newcastle could score the first goal here. Remember, if Middlesbrough get a goal, Newcastle will have to make 4, but Newcastle in for the first time, and McGee and Quinn both in for it. They have to go for an early goal, Newcastle, and as this one is floated in from the left, both Mark McGee and Mick Quinn getting in there, and it came really off the back of McGee's head. O'Brien turning the ball back to John Anderson. Quinn was calling for it, which was shadowed all the way. However, he receives it now. Oh, and a lovely back here. What good play to O'Brien. Here's the chance, and Pears makes the save from Kevin Brock. So the sort of sprightly start from Newcastle that was predictable. It was the back heel really by Quinn which set it all up. Brock's shot capably dealt with by Pears. Cooper's ball into the middle. Lazily headed back in the end. And Anderson takes it back from John Burridge. Now Baird harries and chases. Quinn. Having a good tussle between Quinn and Kernigan. O'Brien nicks it on. Taken on by Ian Baird from Middlesbrough. He's a bit ambitious and he might well have opened the way up for Newcastle here. Good play this, and a great chance maybe now for Roy Aitken! Flicked aside by Stephen Pears. But the Scots effort, the best of this opening spell from Newcastle. And it all came about because Ian Baird's pass was intercepted. Taken on by Brock. Aitken all along was coming alongside him, and then he tucked the ball back to him. Aitken cracked in a great shot, and Pears did well to turn it aside. And Liam O'Brien only able to knock the ball in the direction of Pears without any power. Through the middle and then play the ball wide, but when the ball is intercepted like that, there isn't much chance. Middlesbrough have twice lost it in midfield and almost paid for it. They'll beware not to do that again. Well, they're coming forward themselves now. Phillips, he's turned it straight to Faraday. He's got good pace, Wayne Faraday. Outstrip the cover. There's no support out on this touchline. Has to come back inside. Floats the crossover to the far post. Headed away by Cooper. Aitken lobs it back in. Anderson has made the run forward. Anderson with a great chance. And Newcastle have got their goal. And John Anderson sets this cup tie alight once more. Wayne Faraday, who was presented with the ball down the right touchline, pinpointing his cross. And when it was headed out to Roy Aitken, he saw the move forward by John Anderson. Here comes Anderson, and he was lucky that the ball came back to him, but didn't he finish it well? Free kick was against Bernie Slaven for turning his into the opposition, but the ball was kicked away by Ian Baird. So Ian Baird, who's just inquiring why, but he kicked the ball away. Referee Courtney said that that's worth a yellow card, and Ian Baird the first man cautioned in the match. Now Kernaghan's going to be spoken to as well. And Middlesbrough have just lost their composure since the goal. Nothing worse than coming to a ground with a 2-goal lead and knowing that you've got a great chance of going through to the next round and then conceding a goal, which intensifies the pressure. And they've more pressure to soak up now as Aitken pings the ball into the penalty area. McGee just couldn't get there. It's good work by Brock to keep it alive. Anderson. He's got the taste for more goals. Sprays it instead. In from Scott. Quinn stretching and deflecting the ball to Faraday, who's got time to play in a good cross. Well, that's what happened last time. He got it onto the left foot. Here's the ball for Quinn. It wouldn't have counted. It still won't count, no matter what he does. And an altercation here that George Courtney must step into. Two of Middlesbrough's defenders, Mowbray and Cooper, taking exception to Mickey Quinn's challenge on Stephen Pears. Remains to be seen whether the FIFA official cautions Quinn, looks as though he might be doing. Yes, Mickey Quinn's challenge on the Middlesbrough goalkeeper there infuriated Middlesbrough's defenders, and George Courtney says you can't do that. Oh, and in fact it's a red card for Quinn. George Courtney thought long and hard about it and decides that Quinn must go to the dressing room, and what a blow for Newcastle, reduced to 10 men. And what is going to happen to Mowbray? He's got a yellow card. Roy Aitken's cross with that decision, to say the least. But Middlesbrough skipper stays on, despite the fact he remonstrated physically with Quinn. And now Roy Aitken is being booked as he protested. George Courtney is the busiest man on the pitch. He gets the yellow card. Well, we've had 3 yellows and a red in 5 minutes. And this is what it all led up from. There was a little shove in the back there. Scott headed it forward. The whistle had already sounded. Quinn lobbed the ball gently into Pears' hands. Carried on there. Pears stayed down. Quinn might have just flicked out. Words were spoken. Everybody, apart from Stephen Pears, is now in the Newcastle half. Henry gets past the first man with ridiculous ease. Comes inside, hits the shot, Henry. straight at John Burridge. John Henry would like to mark his return to St James's Park with a goal. And another challenge, and now Kerr's gone in too strongly. On Faraday, Kerr will be the next booking. George Courtney's going to run out of notebooks here. Well, we've had more drama in 30-odd minutes at St James's Park than they get in a whole series of neighbours. And these two neighbours are certainly dishing it out tonight. Good run here, excellent run made by Jimmy Phillips. And he's got a chance to advance, and Middlesbrough have got 3 men up in the area. And it's there, is it? Up the underside of the bar. Phillips had made the run to get into space. And when he cut the ball back, Musto sliding in, smashed it against the underside of the bar, down on the line. Faraday. Continues to run, and 5 Middlesbrough men in front of him. He tries the curler! Well, breathtaking stuff is this. And Wayne Faraday, who's had an excellent first half, helped to make the first goal and almost got the second for himself. Brilliant thinking by Faraday, curling the shot past Pears. That's a poor ball. Kevin Brock just taking a few instructions from the bench. Faraday has been as effective as anybody, and that's another tackle here that the referee didn't like. Play continued, and the referee will have words with John Walk. He spoke to him in the first half, and I think we're about to have an addition to our caution list. And John Walk is the 4th Middlesbrough player booked. A challenge on Faraday, over the top, so far as Courtney was concerned, the referee. And the booking count goes on and on. Although he says it doesn't prey on his mind, Jim Smith keeps being reminded by local scribes that he's never won a North East derby game as manager of Newcastle. This is his 11th attempt. Faraday lines the challenge. Aitken alongside him. Has to leave it for the former Celtic man. And a good run being made on that far side of the penalty area. Oh, and it was just taken away from Anderson. Well, it was an Aitken-Anderson combination which got Newcastle their goal, and the two combined again there. And that's the liveliest thing that's happened in the second half. And Newcastle have a corner here. Brock to take it. Newcastle with everybody up as you would expect. Out by Kernigan. Only Slaven forward. And Middlesbrough will have to defend once more here. Now Aitken, the chance to drive one in. Cracking shot! And that might just have flicked off the top of Stephen Pears' crossbar. Aitken hasn't scored this season. But this was a good opening for him. He's plenty of room in which to manoeuvre, and it just flicked the top of the bar. There, leaving it for Hendry. Chances here for Middlesbrough to seal it. John Hendry with the shot, and very stretching, making a comfortable save. But John Hendry could really have killed off his old team. So John Hendry had got on the wrong side for once of his marker. Tried to open a bit of space for himself, but the shot had no sting. But Newcastle, who went out in the 3rd round last season, looked like going out in the 2nd this. And Middlesbrough really haven't been exerted too stiffly in the second half. There's a mistake though. Faraday tries to act upon it. Aitken. Is the time even now for Newcastle? The ball goes over the top. It's a corner though. Middlesbrough protest. They felt it had gone beyond the defender. And This could well be Newcastle's last chance as Robinson goes in there, the number 12, who's hardly touched the ball since he came on. And they'll all be up for it here. Hook back across goal. Chances still. And Bradshaw's shot is tipped around by Pears. And Darren Bradshaw, who's come in instead of the injured Ranson, could well have salvaged it for Newcastle then. It really is a tremendous save, this, from Stephen Pears. He chested it down, hooked it in, and that was going in. Brilliant. It's a long way off the mark, though. John Anderson unable to repeat his feat in the first half. And that might be it so far as Newcastle are concerned. They could be on their way out. Middlesbrough supporters certainly seem to think so. They're dancing up and down behind Pears' goal. Bradshaw forward. They're straining around up there again. Once more the ball brought away safely. Kerr runs it out of defence and he'll simply try to maintain control of it, keep possession. That's the simple thing to do. Did that ball go out? Apparently not. It's gone dead in any case, and that's wasted up valuable seconds. George Courtney has a look at the watch. Middlesbrough go through, and Stephen Pears with that last-minute save from Darren Bradshaw has kept his team in it. It was a repeat, in fact, of a save he made last week in the league game here. So Stephen Pears booed in the first half. He was in the incident which resulted in Mick Quinn being sent off. Anderson got the only goal of the night. It wasn't sufficient for Newcastle United, and from the moment Quinn was sent off, the evening went against them, and so Newcastle go out and Middlesbrough go through on a 2-1 aggregate. It's ended Newcastle 1, Middlesbrough 0, but it's Middlesbrough's night here at St James's Park.
It certainly is, and a reminder we'll have